Namaste. Welcome to Maithreya. Namaste, Sridevi. Well,
Namaste.
this is a platform for Own Your Story. Who better can I ask than you today? Thank you for choosing this platform to bring your story out, to tell the world that yes, your own hero. You're your own hero. Yes. So, coming to Sri Devi, a little bit introduction about who she is and what she does. So, she was born and educated in Canada and finished her degree in journalism and broadcasting at a university in Toronto. Well, as soon as she finished her last exam, she decided to come to a yoga ashram in Trinidad and manage their broadcasting studio. Well, she's been living in the ashram since then, since 2013, under the guidance of an enlightened being from the Siddha Yoga lineage. His life, work, and vision for the future is so beautiful, and she's dedicated her whole life to living there and serving the community. She lives there with a lot of people from all over the world who have come seeking self-transformation under the guidance of the true master. So this is how she got interested in yoga. She went to SVyasa, that's a common ground for both of us, SVyasa, and it changed her life. So she decided to pursue her master's, and now she's here, almost done with her master's degree in yoga. So thank you, Sridevi, for coming in today. Well, that's two different worlds, journalism and broadcasting and yoga.
Yeah.
So can you tell a little bit about how this whole thing happened?
Sure. So when I was growing up, I knew that I always wanted to be in a profession that made a difference.
Yeah.
And when I was growing up, I was always very creative, so into the arts and drama and acting and, writing stories and telling stories. That was such a huge part of my childhood. And, the maths and the sciences, okay, they never really interested me, but being creative, that was where I really flourished and blossomed. So I thought to myself, I went to a special school, we call it high school, for dramatic arts. So for acting and being on stage and for writing plays, and I was able to express a lot of creativity. But from very young, I knew that if I wanted to do something, it had to make a difference. So I thought to myself, oh, okay, I would go into the places where nobody wanted to go in the world and tell people stories and bring the darkest things to light. But my family became associated with this yoga ashram because the guru is actually my mom's eldest brother.
Oh, wow.
So my whole life, we, we're kind of around him, knew of him. He would visit Canada quite a lot. And I always knew that there was something deeper to life. Although I didn't appreciate it, growing up too much. I thought, okay, maybe spirituality is something you focus on later on in life. But as a young child, you're in it. You're in the satsangs, you're in the bhakti, you're in the understanding that there's something deeper to life. And when you have a master who embodies such light, how can you not believe that there's something more than what is just before you? So when I was 16, I had a Shaktipat experience with him. Where, that's the transfer of spiritual energy from a master to a disciple.
Yes.
And I was hooked ever since then. I don't understand what awakened in me, but being 16 years old, I told my mom, I'm going to visit the ashram by myself. I'm going to go to Trinidad. It's such a tiny island, very small in South America, in the West Indies. And I said, I'm going there. And I want to go alone, and I want to be in the ashram community with people from all over the world, and I want to see what this is all about. I felt something deeper, and let's see if I can truly, get a taste for what that is.
You did
Like,
tell me.
yeah.
Yeah, that's such a good thing to hear, because many people at that phase, when they're 16 to 21, they're absolutely lost as to what path they need to choose. So are you happy that you chose this path, or do you feel a little bit, okay, I am still experimenting with what I am doing, maybe I need to get back to journalism, and do you feel that at all?
Well, so every year I would come here. I would spend all of my summers as a teenager, even in university. I would come here and spend about a month, or a month and a half. And when I graduated from university, I was only supposed to be here for 4 days. My sister and I said, okay, we're going to come here and, just spend some time with the guru and, just get a little boost and go back. But when I came here, he asked me, he said, would you consider just staying? We need help with the broadcasting studio. You just finished your degree. Would you just stay? And in that moment, I had a big choice.
Yeah.
Because I could either do the working experience in Canada, my whole family was doing.
Yeah.
Okay, my sister, my cousins, even my mom and my dad, they were, in the working world over there. But something told me that when the guru asks you something and asks you to make a big decision, you just go with it.
True.
And then you figure it out later.
But so what I'm trying to ask you is, did
Yeah.
you always dream to be where you are today, or when you were young, you had other dreams in your mind?
I couldn't imagine that this would be the life that I chose.
Yeah, because journalism is like totally a different sphere altogether.
Completely different.
Yeah.
But I got to use a lot of the skills while I was here in the studio. So managing multi-camera, streaming for a global audience, editing, capturing him in the best way. I ended up using a lot of the skills that I had. But I never thought that I would get into yoga. That was something completely out of my sight. Yes, I was into the body and working with the body, but I thought, okay, the gym and working out and doing weights and everything like that. I thought, that was it. Yoga, maybe not so much. So if you asked me 3 years ago, could you see yourself, or even 5 years ago, could you see yourself as a yoga teacher and teaching yoga in this capacity? I would have said, you're crazy.
Yeah.
I
Sometimes
see myself
you
in
never
the technical field forever.
Yeah, true.
Couldn't imagine.
Yeah. So what inspired you towards yoga? What was the change?
Obviously, Guruji, he is like a master yogi, right? He was trained in Siddha Yoga when he was very, very young, when he was in his 20s. Now he's in his 60s, mid-60s. And of course, practicing all of the asana and the deep pranayama, and then you have a true yogic master showing you the subtleties of working with the energy and the true essence of these things. And at that time in my life, I had a choice between going back to Canada and working. And I told him, I said, Guru, I want to go back to Canada. And, I've been living here for so many years. I think let's go back into that world and let's try the working world a little bit. Why not? I'm in my 20s. I should be able to do that. And he said, yeah, no problem. If that's what you want to choose for your path, sure. You have all my blessing, you go. And then he came back maybe a few weeks later and he said, you know what? I think I want you to go to India instead.
Wow.
Go and do yoga training there, because he says, I see you're really into fitness and you're really into the body. And he said, I see the potential in you to be a teacher, but I want you to be trained in the true essence of yoga. So go to India, because a couple of my friends were actually training in India and they had beautiful, beautiful experiences. So he said, look at the experiences that they're having. Maybe you can have the same thing.
Correct.
And I said, okay, I will experiment with that. And I had gotten my yoga training in Canada in 2017, but there was something about India, of course, right, being a part of yoga, that would capture me in a way that I never would have thought. I've been to India before in 2015. I went on a spiritual trek to Char Dham.
Okay.
And we had done the entire thing. And at that point, I'd fallen totally in love with India. And I said, wow, my soul feels like I've been here before.
Oh, wow.
Like something feels like home. And I don't know what it is. And then when I came to Asvyasa, and at that time, it was very small. The university was so small in 2018. My country, they were giving scholarships to Asvyasa.
Oh, wow.
And I thought to myself, I'm just going to apply and we'll just see what happens. And when I got through, I said, okay, let's see how this is. And when I went there, I had such deep spiritual experiences. I couldn't believe it. And some of the classes, and one of the Chataka classes that I had visions of the yoga masters.
Oh, wow.
And greeting me, and just things like that. And that opened my whole mind to what yoga could truly be. Because it's not this whole Western idea of fitness and
I think it's much deeper in its own sense.
Couple mantras here and there. Okay, no, this was the essence of yoga. And that's when I said, wow, this is really special. And I felt so grateful to be in India and to be in Asvyasa and to be, at that point, it was very quiet. There was no, hundreds of students.
I know.
So every experience that you had, you could really savor because there wasn't a lot of noise, and it was quiet. The teachers, you had a lot of one-on-one with them, and it was really special.
Good. I can feel it while you're even telling it. It's a special feeling.
Oh my God, it was so beautiful. And being in the training there, and I cried when I had to leave.
I know. I wanted to ask you this. Most of the people, most of my friends who did the YIC or who did the teacher training, they do cry during the bhajan sessions and during the chanting. And that happens. So how was your experience in that?
Well, bhajans and bhakti is such a huge part of my life. Because here we chant twice a day. So we sing what's called a Guru Gita from the Shiv Mahapuran in the morning. But we are steeped in this bhakti. We have satsangs here, and that's our chance to really let go of the mind and to chant and just to be yourself and to express through your voice. So when I had this experience there, and the mantras were so
kind of
from the soul. When she was singing, I thought, oh my God, there's, I definitely did cry, but I think I cried because I was in a whole new world. Like in a whole new galaxy.
Wow.
Where I felt so open to be myself, and I could sing and I could chant, and I play the ukulele, right? The little tiny guitar. And I traveled to India with it.
My God.
I was in Canada before, and the coordinator of the YIC, we have the happy assembly at the end of it.
True.
And he said, why don't you take your ukulele and sing something? And then I was singing for them every day.
Oh, wow. That's nice.
But being able to express myself and sitting there in the bhajans, and you're singing from your soul and your heart. And I became known for the bhakti yoga at that point. But I really felt that I could be myself.
Wow, it's so good to hear.
And also because nobody knew me, right? Like nobody from here or my life was there. So I could go there and truly be myself. And it was really spectacular.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Now, coming back to your personality. So, what has majorly changed, significantly changed you before yoga and after yoga? Of course, you can tell me you're much calmer, you're much peaceful, you're much blissful at times, but predominantly when it comes to your personality. So, what do you think has changed?
Well, before I was very introverted.
Mm-hmm.
So, being in a technical field, yes, I did journalism and broadcasting where you had to really come out of yourself, present
Exactly.
yourself,
Yeah.
speak to the world.
Mm-hmm.
I never saw myself
Mm-hmm.
on the other side of the camera. No.
Okay.
I wanted to be behind the scenes. Leave
Mm-hmm.
me with the filming, leave me with the editing.
Mm-hmm.
I can hide away and be myself.
Oh,
And
okay.
I thought, okay, that's my life. This is
Mm-hmm.
my field. I'm fine with that. I can
Mm-hmm.
always be of service. I don't have to be
Mm-hmm.
a teacher. I could
Yeah.
always be the student.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
And because of yoga,
Mm-hmm.
everything has completely shifted. So now I have to come out of myself, but in
Mm-hmm.
a holistic way.
True.
So it's not that I'm just standing in front of people and teaching something,
Mm-hmm.
um, but your mind is present to what you're
Exactly.
doing. Your
Yes.
whole heart has to
Mm-hmm.
be engaged
That's true.
because you're working with people,
Mm-hmm.
you're loving people on their journey, you're
Mm.
inspiring them to come into the heart and love the body and work with the body and
Yeah.
be happy where you are in life with your body.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of having to be shy and
Mm-hmm.
in my own journey in a
Mm-hmm.
way,
Mm-hmm.
now I've had to step out
Mm. True.
and constantly work on being so present
Mm-hmm.
that you don't think of the fear of standing in front of people
Yeah.
or saying the wrong thing,
Mm-hmm.
uh, but you open your heart and you be there. You
Mm-hmm.
truly be there with all of you, and then
Mm.
you just let it flow. That's been the biggest learning.
Mm.
And
True.
of course, Guruji, he is
Mm-hmm.
always on camera, talking to the global
Yes.
audiences,
Mm-hmm.
presenting all the time. Every day we're filming and streaming, and for
Mm-hmm.
people all over the world.
Yeah.
And he's constantly inspiring the teachers that are around him. There's many of us here
Mm-hmm.
to be present, to be
Mm-hmm.
grounded,
Mm-hmm.
to be there and to show up and to open your heart and to stay
Correct.
focused in the mind and to
Mm-hmm.
be all of you.
Yeah.
When you put yourself to stand in front of anywhere,
Mm-hmm.
you come out and you shine in that way. But you
Wow.
constantly have
Mm-hmm.
to work on your energies and on
Yes.
feeling vital and on being loving and
Oh,
on being
wow.
present.
I think the whole interview today is about, it's just so much positivity, and I can't stop smiling looking at you
I
because
love
you're
that.
so, full of energy, and you're
Thank
giving
you
in
so
so much
much.
positivity to whoever's watching you. So
Thank you so
that's amazing. I mean, it's predominantly seen in the way you talk, in the way you present yourself. Yeah.
Appreciate that so much.
Yeah. Sridevi, coming back to your journey to yoga, well, of course, you've had your ups and downs and you had to
Yeah,
make some
definitely.
critical decisions. And since that you are staying in the ashram and you're cut off from so-called the practical or reality, or maybe the fantasy world where they're happy, they're just running for something, they don't know why they're running.
Yeah.
So, what do you want to tell people as to why is it important to have switch off and switch on to whatever you're doing?
Well, I see it. So as much as I can, I
Mm-hmm.
try to visit my family in Canada,
Mm-hmm.
and they are wrapped in that life.
Yeah.
So yes, they also have a deeply spiritual side because we're
Mm-hmm.
all connected
Mm-hmm.
to this path.
Mm-hmm.
But you see it, the working the nonstop hours, the
Yes.
constant accumulation of things and of
Mm-hmm.
money and of houses and properties. And I had to ask myself a lot,
Yeah.
is that something that you want?
Mm-hmm.
And
True.
the thing is that um, the people in my life, they've
Mm-hmm.
had that experience.
Mm-hmm.
right? They've lived that path. Guruji also was in the secular world even after his enlightenment, but then he
Chose
transitioned
yeah,
and
transition.
retired very early to do this life
Okay.
in this way. But they've all been a part of that. And as a young person, many people have asked me over the years, because the majority of my 20s I've spent here. And they said, you know, why would you just give up everything to live a simple life?
True.
Quite simple. Why would you give up everything? Don't you, you know, want to have properties and you know, a fat bank account and everything like that? But when you see that life and you've witnessed it, and you cannot help but feel that something is missing.
True.
That there is something else that helps you feel at home.
True.
And accumulation of things constantly is not it.
Yeah.
So when you are in your quiet moments and you ask yourself, what truly makes you happy in life? I say it is waking up every day feeling inspired
So
and
true.
feeling so excited by life.
Yeah.
And wanting to get up. Wanting to get up at 4:30 every morning and do life. How can you feel that every day? And that only comes from an inner happiness, from knowing that working on yourself and trying to find the essence of real happiness will bring you that. Will bring you that. And I've had this discussion with Guru so many times. Guru, everyone else is doing it. Why can't I?
Yeah.
You know, why am I not doing that right now?
Yeah.
And he told me in so many lifetimes you would have done that.
Exactly. Yeah.
In so many lifetimes you would have done that. You would have
You've
had all the
evolved.
accumulation. And he said, why can't you appreciate the opportunity you have in this life to grow, to be around a master, to work on yourself, to find the essence of who you are and why you're on this existence, why you've chosen this? Can you truly appreciate that? And see that this life will offer you so much more inside versus chasing that glittery gold out there. But of course, it had to be a deep shift in my thinking and in my realization. And not many people understand this at all. Why a young person would, you know, give up that whole opportunity. But at this point in my life, okay, I just turned 30. And they always say that something shifts for you at 30. And I said, no, I don't know what will shift, but something did. Something really changed because I can see that a life like this will give you so much inside that everything else will come. It will come. I know that I will never not have. Because being simple and being happy and truly appreciating everything you have around you, that means so much more to me than accumulating things. And you know, I see it so much in the you know, in that world that after they've had the promotions in the career, after they've had, you know, maybe a couple kids, then they come back to try to find this essence.
Exactly.
Then they come back to say, you know, I'm not truly happy right now. What is it that I could do deeper? And then they want to work with the body, and then they want to transform the life, then they want to meditate, then they want to make space for this in their lives. But if they could find a huge, beautiful balance and truly do both, that's lovely. That's lovely, but it requires discipline.
Of course.
It
100%.
requires a lot of discipline.
The
I see that.
mind and bodies. There's a lot to have a sense of what you have and what you want. So come, Sridevi, can I ask you something? Yeah. What is your idea of marriage or to find that person in your life? I mean, how does it relate to whatever you're going through right now and whatever you're doing in the ashram?
Well, I'm very fortunate
Mm-hmm.
that Guruji is very forward thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So he has a few nieces, like my
Okay.
sister and one of my elder cousins who's living here.
Mm-hmm.
And he's never denied
Mm-hmm.
us the opportunity, in life and in guiding us
Mm-hmm.
to explore relationships,
Okay.
because that's a healthy part of
Yes. Yes.
he's had many sisters and things
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've had relationships over, a
Mm-hmm.
course of time,
Mm-hmm.
but trying to find someone who truly understands
Yeah.
the path that I have chosen is not very easy,
Not very easy at all.
because this path takes
Mm-hmm.
priority for
Mm.
me. And serving Guru and serving the community and, teaching the yoga, offering yoga therapy, these are things that take up quite a
Yeah,
lot of time.
of course.
And in life, I will always choose this path
Mm.
before anything, because the gifts that it has given me, I'm so grateful for.
Mm-hmm.
So to find someone who could honor my path
Mm-hmm.
and also appreciate me for who I am,
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for that.
Okay. Oh
I'm
God.
truly waiting for that.
I hope and I pray that you will be getting whatever you want in your life because you're such
Thank
a
you
beautiful
so much.
soul. You're
Thank
doing
you so
what but
much.
you're doing so much to the community, to so much to the society. I mean, of course, your prayers will be answered. Wish you
Yeah.
all the best in that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Of
Oh,
course, Sridevi, coming back to your social media or
mhm.
your Facebook or Instagram, well, I have seen many people, I've come across a lot of people who are in this path of yoga. However, whatever they're portraying, they're trying to convey is something else.
Yes.
It's totally kind of contradictory in a way as to they say that, peace is within and all that. But of course, they're portraying something else, like they do kind of compete with somebody else and they have this thing going on, likes and whatnot and comments, and they want to grow. Okay, I do understand that, but when I see your page, when I see your posts, I do get the idea, I do get the message straight that yes, this is it. So how do you manage to do that?
Well, I know that I follow a lot of social media,
Okay.
and I see that kind of thing
Okay.
where, okay, the hundreds of thousands of likes and
Yeah, the
the
subscribers
thousands
and
of followers
followers. Yeah.
and all of that. But yes, I've also been trying to grow my own social media with the
Mm-hmm.
teaching yoga
Mm-hmm.
and eventually more of the yoga therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but the true and the reason why I can just totally be myself, especially on social media,
Mm-hmm.
is because when I've had clients here
Mm-hmm.
and in person,
Mm-hmm.
and the kind of energy dynamic that comes from relating to someone
Mm-hmm.
one on one,
Mm-hmm.
and you see that they have experiences that have transformed their lives,
Mm-hmm.
and that you are simply just a channel of
Mm-hmm.
creating an experience
True. Mm-hmm.
for them to have. You realize that when you are truly just yourself,
Mm-hmm.
that means more
Mm. Yes,
than anything.
simply
And I've
put it.
experimented with that. I've experimented with it.
Okay.
I said, okay, let's post a certain type of picture
Mm-hmm.
and see what happens. Like for my birthday, I did that, right? I
Mm-hmm.
dressed up and I wore this beautiful,
Yeah.
gown and
Mm-hmm.
everything. And yes, of course, I got many, many, many likes. And then I also posted a picture
Mm-hmm.
with myself and Guru, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Had the same amount of likes.
Mm-hmm.
Then I posted videos of me encouraging people to join my classes,
Mm-hmm.
many shares. same amount of likes. And then I recently posted a picture of me when we did a global class. It was myself and a few other teachers. And I said, wow, that really feels like me, because I was so in the moment, and, you know, let's update my profile picture. And the comments and the essence of how I was feeling in that moment was captured. And people commented on it. And I said, wow, if you just be yourself.
Yeah.
If you truly be yourself, the likes will come, the comments will come. Just be who you are. A lot of people ask me, even on Instagram, why don't you post, why don't you make your own yoga page?
True.
And I said, no, because this is who I am. So I said, it's okay for people to see what I was like, perhaps before, you know, when I didn't have so much spiritual awareness, maybe at that time.
Yeah.
And then let them see that life changes, things evolve.
Yeah, that's very
You
well
can
said.
you can be who you are and still get the followers and get the likes. I don't have to pretend to be somebody else.
Correct.
When people ask me what my life is, I'm very honest about the fact that I live in an ashram, that my whole life is based on a schedule and discipline. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being who I am. But on that note, I believe that life is all about balance. So I must understand the other side of life also. Because if you are working with people, and I always thought this, if you're working with people, you must have to understand the entire spectrum.
Correct.
So yes, being on this end, which is very disciplined, which is, you know, in a high spiritual environment for growth all the time. You're living with the master who shows you yourself 24/7. You can't run from that.
Yes.
But you must also understand the lifestyle, the working world of what drives regular people.
Correct.
The vices that pull regular people. Because when people come to you and they ask you, I need help through this, you have to know what goes on in the mind. You have to know what that pull feels like. You have to know what that feels like. So I honestly just believe in being yourself and touching both worlds, but understanding that there's something else in life that means something, that drives you.
Yes, very well said. Very well said, Sridevi. Well, I would want to ask you a question related to your independence and confidence. Well, some people are confident, yes, but they're not confident enough to decide. They're not that very daredevil to decide to do what you are doing. I mean, they think they're losing out on something if they stay in ashram, or if they're in the spiritual journey, right, when they're in 30s. So how do you want to tell people who are looking out to gain that confidence, to gain that independence in decision making?
I would say, especially in my experience, that when you feel something deeper and something truly pulling you, because there was a pull here that I couldn't understand. There was something that would keep me booking flights every year, giving up my summers, and just to come here and be here. When you are really meant for something different, your soul will tell you. It will really tell you. And to give yourself the space and time to feel that and to experience that. In my 20s, there were many times where I wanted to give up. There were many times where I questioned, okay, you know, is this path truly for me? It's hard. It's hard facing yourself all the time. It's hard being around a master, because he is the embodiment of divine perfection. And when he sees that in you, you want to grow that. But it's hard not doing what everyone else is doing. But I never gave up. I cried and I questioned, and I said, you know, is this really for me? But something in your soul will constantly come back and tell you, yes, this is for you. Just stay with it. Stay with it. Know that you are different and listen to that prompting and know that that is okay. It's okay to be different. It's okay to listen to people question you and ask you and to say, you know, why are you doing this? Why are you being like that? And you're so young. Why aren't you in that world? But just know that when they want to come back to that world, you're already in it.
Correct.
You're already in it. And when your life asks you to be something different and to maybe choose spirituality or choose yoga or choose the path of teaching and being yourself, listen to it. Listen to it. At some point, you will feel like this is what you've always were meant to do. And I honestly feel that in my whole soul, that after all these years of wondering and questioning and okay, you know, no, this is who I am. This is who I am. Being this person is who I am. Chanting every day and singing and teaching yoga and working with the body and living with Guru and loving my life. This is who I am.
Wow.
I've never been able to appreciate that in the way that I do now, but I honestly think yoga gave me that opportunity. Traveling to India by myself gave me that independence that I've always wanted. Because I wasn't going for a wrong reason in a way.
Yes.
I was still going for a reason that was aligned with my path. And then when I went there and I was, again, alone, nobody knew me. It gave me a sense of independence that, yes, I had when I was younger, but that I found again. And when I came back, it supercharged that feeling of me being independent. And then I traveled to India by myself to come back to Asvyasa. And that did it again and again and again. So when you think that the universe won't give you what you're seeking, it will when you align yourself to who you truly are.
100%. Yes, I've experienced
I'm
that.
testament to that. It gave it to me. It gave me the independence. When I traveled for the first time when I was 16, my mom asked Guru, she said, you know, I'm worried about her. And at that time, he said, don't worry, she will be traveling the world one day. And it's been happening.
Yes.
But that's where your sense of independence comes from, when you truly be who you are and you surrender to the universe and you say, you truly guide my path. You guide my path. That level of surrender is not easy, but it comes. It comes on the path and you say, you truly guide my path. You'll see that everything you've always wanted comes to you. Because you're who you are. You're yourself.
Yes.
You're not one mind in one world and another mind in another world. No.
Yes.
All of you is in one place and the universe gives that to you. It gives it to you.
Now, one last question, Sridevi.
Yeah, please.
Well, do you plan to see yourself in a certain position or in a certain, to live a certain life, maybe 10 years down the line, or you live how each day comes? I mean, accept the flow of life, or you have a particular plan to see yourself somewhere?
At this moment, things have been unfolding so rapidly.
Correct, yes.
With the yoga path and teaching yoga therapy and studying and, everything like that, that it's been a little hard to plan for the future in this moment. But something I always told myself is that while Guruji is in his physical body, I know that I will want to live with him in this environment until he leaves the body. Because I truly believe that when you meet a master that you feel that is for you, everyone has, their own guru and their own teachers.
Yes.
From this life, I became so aligned to his vision that I think it's a true gift for myself to be around him as much as I can and to help him in the community and to continue to serve the community in the way that I have been and who knows in what capacity in the future.
Exactly.
But while he is in the physical body, to still be in this environment, because I think in this life, the fact that I chose to come in this realm with the master like this
Yes.
is a true gift.
100%.
And people think, oh, okay, when I'm older, I'll visit ashram and I'll be around Guru, and there will be a space and time. But I've been fortunate enough to make it my life.
Yes.
And I see the value of living around a being like this, because he, in my eyes, is the embodiment of a true yogi.
Wow.
And to just to be in his presence and to be in his field, you feel everything in you quiet.
So true.
The pranas become quiet around him. I don't know how to explain it, but it's a gift to myself. And at least for the next 5 or 10 years, I can see myself still being in this environment and being with him in this way and learning from him continuously. So
I am so fortunate to have a friend like you who are
I'm so glad you asked for this. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for coming in. I wouldn't want to let you go without you singing for us. You need to sing something for us.
Oh my gosh, do you mind if I grab my instrument?
Not at all. Please get it.
Okay, give me 2 minutes.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. So forgive me if I make a few mistakes.
That's absolutely fine.
Sing a little something and then.
Yes, sure.
Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari He Nand Narayana Vasudeva Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murari
Thank you, Sridevi. I can listen to this like for the whole day. It was so pure, so blissful. I am extremely honored and very happy that you are in this platform today, and you have justified that yes, owning your story, is the way to live. Thank you for coming in today.
Thank you for the opportunity. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I really admire all of the work that you're doing as well.
Mhm.
And for getting people on your platform and letting them tell their story. That is
Yeah.
very special.
Mhm.
So thank you so much for having me. I appreciate
Thank
it
you.
so much.
Thank you so much, Sridevi.
Thank you. Okay, take care.
Take care.